Okay, and we're back. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. We had what was, I think, a really good weekend of football. We had probably some of the best games that we've seen, throughout the NFL season. And I say that only because I didn't watch all of them. But let's break them down. We finally have, a clear competition of who the MVP of the season is going to be. We have somebody who's clearly eliminated, but we'll get into all that stuff. And we'll also make our predictions for week 17. So let's get into it. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right, so before we even begin, before we even say anything, I gotta get this out of the way. Eric, my condolences. Your phenomenal fantasy football season came to a crashing end in a brutal fashion. Is there anything you wish to say? Or do you want to share your harrowing experience with, the listeners?
The tormenting thing about it all is not actually the fact that I lost. I'm a good sport. It's whatever.
It's how you lost.
Not only did I lose by less than a point, I left 11 points in the bench because I picked the Denver defense going against fucking Patriots when I had the Buccaneers who are going against Jacksonville, who's a, division leader and, is in the playoffs.
I know. Yeah, but speaking as somebody who has Trevor Lawrence as his quarterback, the dude got injured halfway through, and
You son of a bitch.
Before that, he wasn't playing well. It's been my thing. I kill quarterbacks. Now, to make up for you losing, on the other hand, I made it to the Super Bowl, baby. I do not know how, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm in the Super Bowl. Half of my team.
You left have you ever seen the picture of the like the people living in like a paradise, and then there's like soldiers who are like dying in a war, holding them up, sort of things. That's your season, but with NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm just sacrificing all of them. I have no idea how. Like, most of my best players were injured. Nico Collins was injured. Keenan Allen, who's been my points leader this week, was out. But I made a decision. I made a bold decision this week because my team is pretty Ravens heavy. I have Gus Edwards and I have Isaiah Likely. And the reason why I have those is because I had the previous number one running back for the Ravens. I forget his name.
Killed him.
No. Yeah, I killed him. Sorry. And
Dobbins, right?
And what?
Dobbins?
I think it was Dobbins. Yeah. And I had Mark Andrews. So I was like, I'll take a risk on the bench for both of them. It's worked out. And I've also had the Ravens defense, which has been phenomenal all season long. Halfway through the season, some idiot dumped the 49ers defense after they picked up Chase Young. And I was like, score. So now I was in the middle of a conundrum. Because I was up against Brock Purdy, I was up against my dad. My dad had Brock Purdy, and I'm like, should I, balance this out, the two Ravens players on the field and the 49ers defense, or should I just go all in on the Ravens? And I went all in on the Ravens, baby, and the Ravens paid off. It paid off. I'm in the Super Bowl. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked. Your game, I was watching it because Eric had he was up against Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. And there was a point late in the game where they were just not getting the ball. Like, Deebo was having drops after drops after drops.
I fucking hated that so much because I knew I was going to lose.
Yeah.
But I was just slow points.
Yeah.
Slow points. It's like they got 1 point here. They got 2 points there. And it's like,
and Eric
had to lose. Yeah. Just kill me.
And Eric had the 49ers kicker. So they weren't doing kicks anymore. However, there was a point. Like, the last Deebo Samuel catch put him 1 point over you. Like, not even a point, like 0.90 over you. And I was like, this is done. But then I thought about it. Wait, if the 49ers score here, if they score right here, because they moved the ball down the field, and that extra point, Eric wins by a point. And then they did it. The Ravens defense stopped you. And I was like, of course this happened to Eric.
I mean, it would have probably been like McCaffrey scoring anyway, so.
Probably, yeah. But Mob Nasty, thank you for joining us. Merry Christmas to you. Point is, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty pretty good in spite of the fact that I'm actually getting kind of sick again. But whatever.
Well, we will be rooting for you to win the Super Bowl. Obviously, you need to avenge the younger sibling. You know, it's
Of course.
a classic story.
Yep. I'm actually concerned because literally all my players are injured. Like all of them. Like again, my quarterback injured. My Waddle's injured. Nico Collins is still injured. Keenan Allen is injured. My running backs, they're fine. But everybody's injured. So I don't know what I'm going to do. And
you're going against McCaffrey.
And McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel against the fucking Commanders. So I'm just hoping that they beat him up so bad that they bench him. But we'll see.
Honestly, at the end of the game, I was kind of hoping that, they're losing by like 20 points. Just bench your starters. Come on, man.
Yeah, didn't happen though.
No.
All right.
But it'll make it a better story if you win with just,
Sure. Just
cut some bruises all over the place.
Just a bunch of guys. But anyway, so right now there was an interesting conversation going into the game between the 49ers and the Ravens, which is, the two number one seeds, the best teams in the league head to head, and three players who were in the conversation for MVP. One of them is completely out of it. So it used to be Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's out of there. You can't throw 4 freaking picks in a game and still be considered in the conversation. So it's all between Lamar Jackson and Christian McCaffrey, and they both had pretty good games. I honestly don't know why they went away from giving the ball to McCaffrey. He was moving the ball pretty solidly, but, better for me because, it was better. Again, I had the Ravens defense, so this worked out better for me. So what were you going to say?
Well, I read this thing that apparently Kyle Shanahan is like 0-38 in games where he's trailing by 7 at the start of the fourth.
Really?
So basically, he just I'm guessing now it's 0-39.
He just collapses.
He can't play from behind.
He's not a closer.
Fourth.
Well, I mean,
so,
if you remember the Falcons Super Bowl, he can't play from ahead either. So,
fair enough. He just doesn't know when to keep running the ball, that motherfucker.
Yeah, just keep pounding. It's super simple, right? But anyway, so right now, this is how it's going to go. One of these dudes is going to get MVP. One of these is going to get Offensive Player of the Year. I don't like it because basically the MVP has become, it's the
quarterback award.
Yeah, so it's probably going to go to Lamar Jackson. And, Lamar Jackson has played phenomenal all throughout the season. He's a very special player. He's very difficult to block. He's become a way more accurate passer. The offense is just, rolling. The NFC does not match up well against the Ravens because there's nobody else like Lamar Jackson in the NFC. And I was thinking about it. All right, so let's say teams in the NFC go up against, let's say, a Josh Allen. Well, you have a Jalen Hurts, so they're kind of similar. You can prepare for it. They go up against, let's say, Patrick Mahomes. Who would you say the NFC has that's similar to a Patrick Mahomes?
Dak?
I'm not even close. Well, I mean,
like,
they used it.
Passers, kind of mobile,
Sure.
Can scramble out of place.
I mean, they used to have a man called Aaron Rodgers, but
yeah, that's the first guy I thought. But it's like, is he count right now?
Yeah, I mean, the point is,
he's in the
AFC. The point is, they kind of had somebody who was similar. They don't have anybody in the NFC who's even close to a Lamar Jackson. Not even close. So if you watch the Ravens calendar, the NFC games they've kind of just beat them up. Like they beat up the Lions, they manhandled the 49ers. So the defense also beat them up. So I don't know. I think the Ravens will have a harder time getting to the Super Bowl than actually winning the Super Bowl. So, and I don't think it's going to be that hard. I don't think it's going to be that hard.
I think this also opens up a question that hadn't actually been asked at this point, because I feel like the Ravens haven't actually been talked about that much, considering how good they are, especially their defense.
Well, they're not that sexy.
Yeah, I know, but is it the purple?
I don't know.
I don't
know. I mean,
I think a conversation that's not been had is Harbaugh Coach of the Year?
Honestly, I'd give it more to McVay, because what he's doing with the freaking Rams is crazy. I thought they were going to be garbage. Bottom of the barrel.
I'm leaning towards Dan Campbell.
Maybe. I mean, the point is, there's some pretty solid choices. Off the top of my head, I'm saying McVay because again, the man was about to retire because of how bad his team was, and now he's in the playoffs. So
you know what's funny? Like I'm thinking in my head like all the coaches in the league and the old guard.
yeah,
Belichick,
Tomlin,
Andy Reid, Tomlin. I wouldn't have him in the conversation this year.
no,
But
definitely
the
not.
oldest guy, Pete Carroll.
Yeah,
I think there's an argument there.
sure. I think Harbaugh's had definitely a better season than all of them by far.
Of course.
But yeah, I like those
brand
three.
new offensive coach, I believe.
Yeah, I like all those three that you mentioned: Harbaugh, McVay, and Dan Campbell. Just because I like the guy. So
Yeah, probably top three.
yeah, I mean, even LaFleur hasn't had that terrible of a season, considering that half the team left. So
Yeah, and it's been a rebuild for those guys.
the Colts head coach. I mean, I expected them to be garbage, and they're doing pretty good. By the way, Gus Becerra, Feliz Navidad. No joke, I've
Merry
eaten about
Christmas,
30
Gus.
tamales in the last 2 days. You pregnant. Like right now, you probably look pregnant. So, congratulations.
I feel pregnant after all that damn food.
Oh, it was
I get it.
delicious. It's beautiful. But
the
let's get so
holidays.
right now, off the top of your head, who do you think is going to win MVP?
I think just out of pure consistency for the entire season, it's got to be McCaffrey.
really,
Usually when
is this the first season he hasn't gotten injured?
he's been banged up a little bit, but I think he hasn't been out of the season for the season.
Gus Becerra says he needs to win my $100 so he can pay his fantasy entry.
Well, Gus Becerra, funny you mentioned that. You're starting to fall behind, buddy.
Yeah, you had a
Do
bad week.
you want to go over the points right now?
No, we can do it after.
All right, we can do that.
Yeah, just let him know. Yeah, you had a bad week. I mean, I had a
Yeah.
bad week too, but whatever.
Actually, God had a great week. He's the one that did the best. Well, it was his son's birthday after all.
There you go. You're
Yeah.
welcome. Anyway,
And what was I saying?
McCaffrey.
Yeah, I feel like other years, it's really, really clear when it's a quarterback.
well,
The MVP, right? When it's like the Rodgers back to back.
Well, I mean,
Or,
again, it goes
Lamar.
with the Ravens not being talked about because they're not a sexy team. They're just really efficient, and the defense is deadly. Again, I've had the defense the entire season for my fantasy for the fantasy league. They're deadly. So Lamar doesn't have to do much, but he can do much. And when it comes to, he doesn't have the best numbers in the world touchdown wise because when they get into the red zone, they give the ball to Gus Edwards, who they can't stop. It's actually pretty annoying because Gus Edwards is really good, but for some reason they don't use him in the entire field. Like they only use him in the red zone, which okay, whatever. He still gets the touchdowns, but it's like
They're winning goddamn games, aren't
use him
they?
more. This man could be making 40 points a game, but he's only making me 20 because you only use him in the red zone. But whatever. What can you do? Anyway,
What can you do? But yeah, I think I'm leaning McCaffrey. Honestly, we see the. I don't know if I would say Brock Purdy was exposed. Yeah, last night
he went up
but
against a really, really good defense, and he had
he
a
went
really
up
bad
against
night.
what a lot of people were calling Super Bowl preview.
Yeah.
So it's like if they meet again, is Purdy gonna get embarrassed at the Super Bowl too? I don't know. McCaffrey played, like the man still, even though against his great defense.
Yeah.
So, in terms of what defines an MVP, I'd say McCaffrey got my vote.
All right. So, is there anybody else you think whose name you would toss in there?
Tyreek, maybe.
Tyreek?
Yeah, he got
injured.
Excellent year.
That was actually the problem, that he kind of got injured there. But all right. Yeah. I mean, fair enough. Those would be three conservables. To me, I mean, the fact that Cooper Kupp did not win it, it just tells you that they're not going to give it to somebody who's not a freaking quarterback. The last person not a quarterback.
Last year?
Last year, was it Hurts?
I don't know. Was it?
Well, yeah, the Eagles were almost undefeated.
Oh yeah.
So I think it was Hurts.
NFL MVP.
I think the last person who won it who wasn't a quarterback was Adrian Peterson. So that kind of just tells you how the league's going. So it sucks because I agree with you. I think in terms of turning a franchise around, Christian McCaffrey's the guy who did that for the 49ers. Again, I mean, sure, the Ravens would not be as good without Lamar Jackson, but this dude turned the 49ers into the scariest team in the league until yesterday. So, and if they would have kept giving him the ball, they probably would have won. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. The MVP for 2022 was Mahomes.
Really? Freaking
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts. They had like what? 16-1 record?
They did have a crazy record last year, didn't they?
Yeah. And I still said they weren't legit, but whatever.
Well, they were still in the golden age of Mahomes. Now we're in the downfall, and I'm
we'll get to that.
loving every minute of it.
We'll get to that. I told you. What did I tell you about the Chiefs? They didn't feel buttoned up. They're not buttoned up. But anyway, let's get into the games. So, first off, Thursday night. By the way, I didn't watch all these, so I'm gonna just tell you the score for a lot of them. Rams versus Saints. I did watch this game. Fun. Like I said.
No, me neither. I was busy.
No, I actually watched this one. It was Thursday. McVay has got the Rams rolling. The Saints have a pretty legit defense, and still they are first off stopping them on offense, and they managed to get their offense rolling. So like I said, coaching wise, McVay has done something incredibly impressive over in LA. I did not expect it. I didn't expect them to be in the fight. And right now, what are they? Let me just check this real quick. The playoff picture. I had it here somewhere. Playoff picture. They are solidly in sixth seed. All right, and
with a playoff probability of 67%.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Yeah, so they're doing pretty good. So kudos.
Although not as good as the Seahawks, who have a 69% chance.
Oh, so of course that's always better. Next, we have the Steelers just steamrolling the Bengals, which sucks. Cause I thought, what are the Steelers, man? I thought they were dead, and then all of a sudden. And the Bengals looked like they were, getting their shit together. And then it turns out I was wrong on everything. So it's like the AFC just, nobody wants to break away. They all want to get stuck in the same freaking hole. I don't understand.
All right, the Steelers kind of remind me of the Broncos. Where
Steelers and Bengals are both 8-7 right now. And they're on the outside looking in. They're 3 teams tied at 8-7. Nobody wants to get into the freaking playoffs in this freaking division. By the way, the Bills are in now. So,
yeah.
Yay.
The Steelers kind of remind me of the Broncos, where it's like it feels like every year they beat every division rival at least once.
I think this is the second time they beat the Bengals. And I mean just stomp them. But whatever. Next, we got the Bills beating the Chargers barely. So, I'll tell you. I do not feel bad about this loss for the Chargers. I was watching the game, and
I was expecting them to lose.
I expect them to lose, but they were not embarrassed. They were actually in it. You noticed one thing that's very important that the GIF dude, who is that's apparently the head coach's name, GIF. Something that he did or he didn't do that Staley would have done 100 times?
Play it on 4th down?
Exactly. Dude just went for field goals. Turns out that Dicker kid, pretty good. Turns out he kind of doesn't miss. And
he is Dicker the kicker.
He almost won on field goals. So I like field goals. I like not going for it on 4th down when you don't have to, like an idiot. The team looked ready to play. The defense was stopping the red hot Buffalo Bills, the scariest team, in the NFC, in the AFC. All of a sudden, they looked pretty mortal, and so good. You see potential for the future. They didn't lose their draft spot and all that stuff, but it kind of just pisses you off that they didn't get rid of Brandon Staley in week 4, like I was screaming that they should. But anyway, what did you think of the game?
Yeah,
again, this is a game without Justin Herbert, without Keenan Allen, without Mike Williams, and without Joey Bosa, and also a bunch of other players. And also they got rid of Sebastian Joseph-Day, which is a shocker, but all right, later loser. So
yeah, that was kind of random.
Yeah,
but honestly, I was watching this game and I felt more concerned for Bills fans.
Oh yeah, you did
because
not.
I was like,
you felt like you dodged the bullet.
Yeah, you survived a really, really beat up Chargers team.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay. And although it does make me think, have we actually been this good this entire time? And Staley held us back this much?
Yeah.
To the point where we literally didn't have our 4 best players?
Yeah. That's how important head coach is. Yeah.
Ridiculous, man.
It's like a massive anchor. It's like a massive weight that was holding the team back. And you could tell they looked looser. And yeah, I was, listening to the commentators and they were saying about, well, what was the defensive game plan? You know what the defensive coordinator did? Do you know what the plan was? This is what he said.
Don't let them advance.
No, this is what he said. I talked to the players. We made a plan together. I let them do what they wanted. That's it. That's it. That's it. So you remember my theory of what they should have done and that it would have been better than whatever Brandon Staley was doing? This kind of confirms it. They kept the Buffalo...
I've always had a theory that defenses are not that as complicated as a lot of defensive coordinators try to make them.
Well, you're supposed to be reactive. The most important thing defense will. And I know people disagree because, the most important thing is being in the right place at the right time. No. The most important thing for a defense is tackling. It's the first thing. Because if you're in the right spot, but if you ain't bringing down nobody, it doesn't matter that you're in the right spot. So the most important thing is tackling. And sure, the Chargers missed a couple, but not many. They were actually bringing people down. Why? Because they were scared for their freaking jobs. They need to play for their jobs. They're actually playing with a little bit of heart. So first off, they were actually tackling, and they were kind of putting themselves in the right position because now they're not following the stupid Brandon Staley scheme of being 3rd and 1 and being, like 5 freaking yards behind the line. They were standing wherever they felt they should have been, and they were just reacting to the Bills. So what happened here is probably the players watched a whole bunch of tape on the Bills, and they were like, I think this is what I should do. And that's what they did. So it's kind of what I said. Just have your best corner cover their best wide receiver. Have this guy, blah, blah, blah. And then you kind of just watch tape all week long and let them do what they do. God damn it. I could have had that fucking job. Jesus Christ.
That makes too much sense.
It's too logical.
You can't do it. I'm looking at this playoff picture, and I'm trying to, I'm sort of looking at these playoff probabilities and whatnot. It says the Browns have a 99% playoff probability.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the Chiefs have a 96%. And I'm just thinking, how much copium and dilution do I need to actually believe that the Chiefs could actually not make the playoffs?
Well,
what would need to happen? Who would need to lose and win?
Well, first off, either the Broncos or the Raiders need to take them out of the AFC West. So one of these two needs to bring them down. First thing. And who do they play? Oh, I mean, the Raiders have a tiebreaker, right? No, the Broncos also have a tiebreaker because they both beat them.
Both of them beat them.
Yeah, both of them beat them. So either one of those needs to win. They need to lose. All right, so the Chiefs need to lose their next 2 games. One of them is against the Chargers. And
which I could see the Chargers wanting to play, spoiler.
Sure. And then... Well,
Colts need to win out, so they have a better record than...
Either the Bengals, Steelers, Texans, or Colts need to win out. So the Chiefs need to lose 2, and Raiders, Broncos need to win 2, or Bengals, Steelers, Texans, Colts, and they all need to win 2. So...
Actually, the Bills have a tiebreaker with the Chiefs. And I just think the Colts need to win 2, and the Chiefs need to lose out. And that way the Raiders need to win the division.
Either Raiders or Broncos need to win the division.
Yeah.
So,
one of those would be more likely.
It's not impossible. It's just not highly likely.
But it is fun to think about.
Of course, always. Because right now they're losers. Anyway, let's continue. So again,
Actually, it's not impossible because the Raiders and Broncos play each other at the end of the season.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. Next, we got the Jets beating the Commanders barely. I don't know what the Jets are doing, man. Why are they playing to win?
I don't think they know they've been eliminated.
I mean, I get it. Salah's
it's the Jets. Would you be surprised?
Salah's playing for his job, I guess. But all right, whatever.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Salah is gonna be safe just because this year was not the year that they had all practiced for.
Yeah.
They built everything around Rodgers.
Yeah. Wow.
So it was like, okay, the season's pretty much a wash from the get-go.
On
And
the
I think everybody
first
kind of needed it.
drive. On the first drive. Anyway,
Yeah, it was the most Jets thing ever.
of course. Next, you got the Lions just, stomping on the Vikings, which, who everybody saw coming.
Congratulations to the Detroit Lions
Clinching
for
their
winning
division.
their first division championship in 30 years.
First time, second time in my lifetime, I think. It's wild. I'm actually scared of what this means. What's going to happen?
The times are changing,
Yeah,
but
I think it's the first time since the Cold War. Actually,
we
no.
still had the
I'm pretty
USSR.
sure I'm pretty sure the Cold War was done. Next, got the Texans barely losing out to the Browns. And actually, no, it was not that close. The Browns are actually pretty good. Sucks that CJ Stroud didn't play. I think he would have won that one, but the Browns are just lucky.
Joe Flacco and Amari Cooper are the truth.
Freaking clinch, dude. They were unstoppable.
Joe Elite.
Yeah. Next, you got the Packers just stomping on the freaking Panthers, but not that bad. No, dude, what are the Panthers?
Stomping? They won by 3 points.
4.
Oh, well, that's a murder.
Yeah. That's more than a field goal, buddy. No, actually, I read it wrong. I was like, wait, did I see that right? And no, you're right. It's 3 points. I didn't watch that game because I didn't care. Next.
Me neither. I figured the Packers were going to kill them.
We saw the Seahawks beating the Titans. All right, whatever. Didn't see this one either.
Seahawks are still,
they're in there.
Fighting. They're in there.
They managed to kind of turn things around. They were in a downward spiral. They're back in it. They're back in the fight.
Still Drew Lock as a quarterback?
Yeah, I think so. Next, you got Falcons versus Colts. I did not watch this game either, but the Falcons won handily, which makes things
Falcons.
again.
Go.
Next, you got the Buccaneers beating down on the Jaguars, as we already mentioned. This kind of what ruined Eric's Super Bowl. Well, Eric's playoff.
I blame more the Broncos not being able to stop the fucking Patriots.
Yeah.
You losers.
Didn't you go up against Chris Evans?
Let's ride ponies.
Mike Evans. Didn't you go up against Mike Evans?
You and Chris Evans.
Yeah, I always forget. Didn't you go up?
Yeah, I went against Mike Evans.
Dude kind of had a good game.
Hey, I'm not angry at how my opponent performed. I'm angry at the underperformance of my players.
Especially when you thought you were being so smart. You thought you were being so clever, picking the Broncos against the Patriots.
Against, probably the worst offense in the league. Yeah, a little.
Yeah,
a little bit.
See, you forgot how much Bill Belichick hates you. You specifically. Yeah, in particular. It's all against you. Next.
He hates me so much he's going to the Chargers.
Next, you got the Dolphins beating on the Cowboys. The Dolphins finally beating a team with a winning record. So, Cowboys exposed? Is that Dak dude not for real?
I think they were exposed with the Bills game, honestly.
Yeah. To me, it's just
or was it Eagles? No, they beat the Eagles.
Yeah. To me, it's just pretty clear that the AFC does not compare to the NFC. The NFC is way weaker than the top of the AFC. Even though the record might look better on the other side, I think the AFC teams are just built different. They have better coaches and more star power. So, actually, no, maybe not star power.
And the top 3 teams in the NFC, which would have been probably 49ers, Cowboys, and
Eagles exposed. All 3 exposed. Maybe the Lions.
Maybe not necessarily exposed, but ran out of gas.
True. Yeah.
Like maybe that's just the seasons keep getting longer. Maybe teams need to start considering this and come up with these strategies to make it to the playoffs.
And only one team has a bye week, which is crazy. Honestly, they should add another week and another bye week.
I don't know the implications of that, but I like it.
Right? It makes sense. But can you imagine you get back-to-back bye weeks? That'd be annoying. Like week 4 bye week, week 5 bye week. Son of a bitch!
No, it would be the bye week, but like right at the beginning of the season.
Oh, for week 1. Yeah. LG boy, Feliz Navidad, cabrones. Feliz Navidad to you too. Thanks for joining us. So,
Merry Christmas, buddy.
I don't think that this is the Dolphins being great. I think more this is the Cowboys being, exposed. The NFC in general has been exposed.
Well, I mean, the Dolphins do have the best wide receiver in the league.
maybe the best wide receiving duo in the league.
Yeah, honestly, they give me.
And Waddle was injured halfway through.
Yeah, the Dolphins right now are giving me Rams 2021 vibes, which is Cooper Kupp, Woods,
Beckham.
Robert Woods. No, when they had just that killer wide receiver duo where it's like, hey, look, we have who's the clear star, which is Cooper Kupp, and then we have a really, really, really good second option, who he's gonna make your plays. You know, like I would argue they're at a level of like almost a Keenan Allen, Waddle.
Waddle would be a number one wide receiver in almost every other team. Every other team.
Except you got Tyreek there.
Yeah.
So you got the cheetah running around everywhere, you know, gassing people out and over in the secondary.
And that man's injured, and he keeps playing. Did you see the podium thing where he was like, "Yeah, I mean, I thought I wasn't going to be able to play, so I had you know, I was hurting, and I text my girl, and I'm gonna butcher this because I don't remember exactly what he said. But he's like, no, I was like, oh man, I'm really hurt, and my girl was like, suck it up, and so I was like, all right, I sucked it up. I went out there and played through the pain. Tomorrow's gonna hurt, yeah, but I kept playing.
Like, fuck you, we got kids to feed.
And I was like, that's not how you're supposed to do it. that's like the opposite of what you're supposed to do. You're not.
Like, I'm pretty sure you still get paid.
Yeah, like just take a break. I mean, it's fine.
The Dolphins can't really let up right now, though. The Bills were chasing at that point.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the Dolphins go up against the Ravens this week. They're fighting for the top of the top seed. I don't see the Dolphins beating the Ravens, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Next, we got the Bears beating the Cardinals, which sucked because, you know, I like the Cardinals and I don't particularly enjoy the Bears, but I like them losing, so whatever. Next, the Christmas game, we got the Patriots stomping on the Broncos, embarrassing them, prime time.
Stupid
Chuck,
ponies.
What the hell happened?
What's
ride going
Russ. Let Russ cook.
Here we were, you know, believing in the Broncos and being like, man, it'd be fun to have him in the playoffs and Sean Payton turning that thing around. And then all of a sudden comes a Bill Belichick and just embarrasses you on Christmas Eve prime time.
Hey, you want to see a moron? Here he is, the guy who believed in the Broncos.
Oh, look at that. What a fool. What an idiot. Honestly, Chuck, you shouldn't feel bad. The Broncos are fine. The issue is that Eric put him on his lineup, and he is unlucky. So
at least I won the league in points, so I get a little money.
Yeah, you know, there you go. So the question is, will the Broncos turn around, or are they out of it?
Well, who are they playing?
Chargers, Raiders.
I know they got the Raiders at the end. They got
Raiders.
Chargers coming up
back to back.
You know, before,
which, by the way, the Raiders
they would have killed the Chargers, but right now I'm not sure.
No, they just lost 40 pounds to stupid, and so they're looking pretty loose there. They're running, you know, a little bit faster, a little bit, you know, a little pep in their step. They're worried for their jobs.
Yeah, I don't know.
By the way, the Raiders have a chance to close out their season beating all of their division rivals. If that man, if I think it's Pierce, if that man doesn't get that head coaching job, I don't know what else he could have done to keep that job. Like, he clearly is getting that franchise out of their funk and turning them in the right direction. So
turning them back into the criminals they deserve to be.
Yeah, so I like that because it's, you know, one less team competing for Jim Harbaugh. So that's good. That's actually pretty good.
Well, apparently we're competing against who was it? Alabama or what team?
No,
was it?
Michigan. Michigan offered him like a 10-year, $120 million deal, and for 1 year he can't transfer to the NFL. And it's like, you motherfuckers, you just don't want him to go to the Chargers. Like, 'cause this is the year. Specifically, This is the year. So, I mean, to me, I take it as a good sign. That's how concerned Michigan is that Jim Harbaugh is seriously considering going to the NFL. And if he's going somewhere, it's because it's either the Bills or the Chargers.
Well, according to John Spanos, they're actually considering not being cheap. but I feel like I've heard this before.
Listen, Listen, I know they listen to this podcast because why wouldn't they? I'm phenomenal.
Yeah, we changed the world.
Yeah, for sure they listen, and they finally, or at least somebody close to them listens, and somebody finally told them the expression "lo barato sale caro," and they added up the money, and for cheaping out on head coaches in the past, they've ended up losing billions of dollars, billions, in fact, maybe trillions. So
I did the math, and no, but you're right.
The point is, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So maybe finally they got their heads out of their own asses. And they had it really far up their asses. I mean, they had their freaking they had their heads so far up their asses, their freaking Adam's apple was their nose. Okay? That's how far up there they were. So maybe now they got it a little bit out. They've been embarrassed enough, and they're like, you know what? We're getting $500 million for free from the NFL. Maybe we should fucking invest it on this thing. Because everybody and their mother is making fun of us, and everybody and their mother wants us to sell. So maybe finally they'll put their heads out of their asses. We'll see.
I mean, you say a broken clock is right twice a day, but I'm concerned that the Spanos is maybe digital watches. So
it's all zeros.
Yeah, just no, it's just broken.
It's all eights. It's all eights.
Yeah,
there you go. I don't know. They don't seem that advanced to me. So next, probably the best game of the entire weekend, the Chiefs losing to the Raiders.
It's so beautiful, man.
Dude, it's really fun to see the collapse of the Chiefs. Because you remember...
No. Have you seen the excuse for this week?
I have not, but have you seen Travis Kelce now being a little bitch about it?
I saw Mahomes being a bitch about it.
Oh, here's Travis Kelce being a bitch about it.
Oh yeah, he threw the thing.
Yeah, like,
see it again.
Now we got, so a few weeks ago we had Patrick Mahomes throwing a hissy fit. Now we have Travis Kelce throwing the exact same hissy fit. Here we go. See that helmet? Bam! He's throwing it out there. That's dangerous.
What a dig. That could have hit somebody.
Yeah, and then afterwards, as he's, kind of trying to get back on the field, Andy Reid's like, don't give him back the helmet. So let's see. I think it happens here. Don't give him back the helmet. No. He's sitting this one out. Don't give him the helmet. So
it would have been funny if he grabbed it and he spiked it too.
Yeah. So there's clearly trouble. Oh, and here you go. He bumps him afterwards. Like, see it. Shoulder. Look at that. Boom.
Hey,
get your head out of your ass.
Too, motherfucker.
Yeah. So
he was a lineman, wasn't he?
What?
He was a lineman, wasn't he?
I don't know, but clearly, like I said, the Chiefs are not buttoned up. They're not buttoned up. And their defense is pretty good, but their offense stinks. And they're being little bitches about it, which I don't really understand. It's really embarrassing, and I actually enjoy that because it's really funny because now everybody's has their eyes on the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift, and it's really funny. I love how this thing kind of just imploded in their faces, and now everybody's like, oh, they're little bitches, and it's fun, and I like it. Anyway, what were you going to say?
So, yeah, to me, part of this thing is... So, obviously, we've been frustrated with the Chiefs the last few years because...
Oh, no, Eric, the meeting went over. Jesus Christ. All right, so it's going to be me for a little bit. All right, let me just put that real quick. So... Eric is going to try to get us back on the Zoom meeting thing. I'm going to try to do the whole thing because we stopped paying for the thing. I don't know why. Why are we so cheap? God damn it. Why are we so cheap? But let me just do this real quick. No. Where'd it go? Eric. Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. Point is, the game wasn't particularly close. The Raiders were kind of dominating them the entire time. And it was pretty funny. Again, just to see them all stressed out, all, with the... their heads up their butts. Eric, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, you're back. Here we go.
I was stopped by the government.
Yes.
I was talking shit about the Chiefs, so, they probably got upset about that and canceled me.
Chiefs losing isn't T Swift's fault. Bad luck is just the newest side effect of the Pfizer. All right, no, I'm not saying it's their fault. I'm not saying it's T Swift's fault. I'm saying that she's putting the spotlight on them. So... They're not
their worst season in the last few years.
Yeah, they're not just losing. They're losing with everybody seeing it. And so it's extra funny. So extra pressure is on them. Because now they're being known as the whiny losers. So that's pretty funny to me. Anyway, so we were saying about the stressful last few seasons, blah blah.
Yeah, like it's been annoying, obviously, as us as Charger fans, because it's like everything's Chiefs, 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 and
I'm just gonna keep playing this because it's
Yeah.
funny.
And it's like, it's fair enough. The Chiefs have been freaking, monsters the last few years. Mahomes is fantastic. Kelsey's fantastic. Andy Reid's probably the best coach of the last 5 years.
Maybe ever.
Fair enough. Hey, maybe he's in the conversation forever.
Sure.
But they've always been like annoyingly cool about it. Like, I feel like, well, I mean, maybe Kelsey not so much, but Mahomes at least, he'd always been like, seems like a cool guy, who's humble enough.
Well,
and,
he's a frog.
yeah, he wins with, with
I,
grace and
I
all
went
that.
out there, I threw the ball, and it was fun, and Miss Piggy caught it, and she opened up the hole, and we won the football, and yay.
Yeah, but I think it's one of those things that,
By the way, I think that was a legit Kermit. I think.
that was pretty good, actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you.
Oh, you lost
I
it.
Oh yeah, I know. I was like, well, the problem is that I didn't know
You
exactly.
got the perfect phlegm.
Yeah, it was right there. It was right in the moment.
No, but I think it's one of those things that finally they're starting to see some adversity. Finally, they're starting to feel the pain of Mahomes' contract with the receivers.
Calls are
sucking.
starting to go against them.
Calls are starting to go against them where they wouldn't have in the past, and it's one of those things. Oh, you guys are starting to suffer through the same adversity that the rest of the league is,
Yep.
and now we're starting to see what kind of people you actually are.
Yep.
And it's kind of a whiny little bitches.
Yep. It's kind of ugly, and I love it. It's hysterical. So what was the excuse this time?
Oh, the excuse is because you remember the flu game. Mahomes' flu game.
Of course.
He had a flu game.
Yes, that's why the Broncos beat him.
Yeah, well, I mean, this time they were in Arrowhead and there were 70 miles an hour winds.
Uh-huh.
Can't do anything against that.
I mean, clearly it affected the Raiders too.
I mean, no, that didn't happen.
Well, actually, yeah, because the offense didn't do anything. It was the defense that scored all the points.
Raiders made some field goals. Butker couldn't do it.
True. That is true. But
So that's the excuse for this week. Yeah.
all right,
Really strong wins.
it happens.
That's
You
the
know?
reason their wide receivers haven't been catching shit.
Well, they were anticipating the wins, and they just couldn't keep up. I don't know. I just like it. I love it. In fact, you know what? I love it. It's fun to watch them squirm.
Is this the happiest we've ever been for back-to-back Raiders wins?
You know what? Yes. You know what? It's a Christmas miracle. Turns out, that I thought that my hatred for the Raiders was so deep that I would never be happy for them winning. And now it's 2 weeks in a row. It is clearly a Christmas miracle. Honestly, the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes. Mine had to grow at least 10 sizes for me to actually be smiling after Raiders win. 2 of them. 1 of them against my team. So
One of them was a massacre against my team.
maybe I've been brainwashed. I don't know. Maybe I've been kidnapped. I don't know. Maybe I'm not even me. Maybe this is an AI.
Maybe it's
do
Maybelline.
not know. Exactly. I don't know what's going on anymore. Is up? Is down? Am I real? Is anything real? What the hell's going on? I don't know. But I'm happy.
Point is, we don't know shit about fuck still. It's week 16.
Oh yeah, nobody knows shit about fuck. At least I feel good about that. But anyway, let's continue.
It's amazing how many teams are alive in week 16.
Yep. Eagles, stomp on the Giants. They benched that DeVito kid again for Mr. Tyrod Taylor, which, sucks for him.
The greatest villain story in the making.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Tyrod Taylor. That man's career. Anyway, but whatever.
I was actually kind of excited during this game because I was playing against the Eagles defense. So it's like, oh, the Giants are actually doing okay, so they didn't make that many points. But
And
actually, fuck this game. I just remembered.
you have Smith.
The Giants threw a pick at the very end with a Hail Mary.
Yeah, that's
They
right.
gave him 2 points.
Yeah.
Fuck this team.
And
New
finally, the Super Bowl preview, the Ravens just stomping on the 49ers. And let me just remind everybody, this game started out with a safety.
A hilarious one.
49, dude.
Can you
Fuck
imagine
the
if
refs,
the game had
man.
been decided? Can you
Fuck.
imagine if the game had been decided by those 2 points? It would have
'Cause-
been
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, because of the fucking ref who did not get out of the fucking way.
To be
Jesus
fair,
Christ.
Lamar ran like 20 yards back.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
The dude made a bad decision. But the reason why he tripped was because of the ref. Clearly.
Yeah.
So, what do you do in that situation? I mean,
The ref is a part of the field.
they're part of the field?
They are a part of the field, yeah.
What, you can stomp on them?
I guess so.
What? I just found the perfect solution to all the problems in the NFL. Just kill those fuckers. You know, just run straight at them. Like, I was just running on the field, man. I was just running on the field.
I think you get ejected for that.
Whatever. You just sacrifice the best in Joseph Day. Jesus Christ.
It's like you were already firing this kid. Fuck
Yeah, you know, just go straight right there. Straight
it.
line.
Seabrass.
Yeah.
No, but if the game had been decided by that safety, I would have died.
Yeah, fortunately, didn't come down to that, and the game wasn't
Not even
particularly
close.
close. Not even close. The Ravens were in control the entire time. It was honestly really disappointing because I expected to watch, first off, it was great for me because, as I already mentioned, most of my team is the freaking Ravens, and I went all in on the Ravens for this game. So I was pretty happy about it, and I was up against Brock Purdy, so those 4 picks were phenomenal. But
sorry, continue.
as a football fan, I expected a better game. But again, the NFC clearly does not stack up against the AFC, in my humble opinion.
Yeah, I think that has been pretty much proven at this point. But
Confirmed.
one thing that I was thinking is this is the second game that I've seen at my cousin's house,
Uh-huh.
which this was a very disappointing 49ers performance.
So you're thinking
And the last game that I saw was the
championship,
NFC Championship game.
where
which
Purdy was,
really
injured.
Yeah, a really disappointing 49ers performance.
So you're thinking you shouldn't go there anymore
Well,
to watch
unless
the
I go
Niners.
against them.
What?
Unless I go against them,
Oh, you bet against them and then you go.
I'll do it.
Yeah. So it's actually pretty funny. Coming into this game, everybody was like, all right, 49ers, clearly the better team. They were up by, I think, 6.5 points. And I was like,
It's
dude,
a bit of an insult.
Yeah, I
it's
was
a
like,
bit of an insult.
I get it, they're at home. But I mean, the Ravens they have the same record and they're in the AFC. Why is everybody so high on the 49ers? But whatever. I mean, I was high on them. I just expected it to be way closer. But turns out, not so much.
I mean, I feel like
expect-
most of us expected the 49ers to win.
Well, I expected the Ravens to hide their playbook. And honestly, I think they kind of did. They didn't do anything particularly crazy or special. They played old school football. Just, they were just tougher. And that defense, David Clowney was deadly. So, what can you
Also,
do?
it is possible that Brock Purdy has been sleeping on silk sheets this whole time.
In the NFC?
No, where it's in the 49ers. Like, he has been coddled by the fact that, you got McCaffrey, you got Kittle, you got Ayuk, you got Debo, you got all these crazy, crazy weapons.
Uh-huh.
I mean, maybe he hasn't had his Jared Goff coming to Detroit moment, Where it's like the team has been built for you,
Yeah. Well,
he still needs to have that come down to earth.
Well, maybe the 49ers hadn't really been tested since they got Chase Young. And now they've been tested and they failed the test. Also, the left tackle got injured and there's a bunch of defensive players who were out. But again, they played too tough for their own good. And you can tell they were burnt out. And the Ravens, on the other hand, they kind of look fresh. So, I mean,
and again, I think that's
the Ravens had
I think that's credit to John Harbaugh.
And the Ravens had a really late bye week. I think it was like week 11 or something. So
yeah, but the Ravens have also lost players. They lost Dobbins. They lost their star tight end.
Yeah,
like they've been losing players, but John Harbaugh has been managing to substitute in perfectly well and running a well-oiled machine over there.
They have the basics really well covered. So and
Next
again,
man up.
when they're in the red zone, they just give it to Gus Edwards, and the man's a freaking bus. Why he doesn't get the ball more, I don't understand, but whatever. Anyway,
It's like when the Bills started doing better when they stopped leaning so much on just Allen.
or Stephon Diggs when they started giving the ball to the James Cook. Turns out that boy, pretty good. So
And it's the same thing here. Was like, we know Lamar can do more, but he doesn't need to, and that's good.
I mean, it also helped.
Save him up.
It also helped that their number 1 draft pick, Say Flowers, who they picked up immediately after the Chargers. Turns out he's pretty good. Turns out he's a pretty good wide receiver. So that really helps out.
Zay is a weird name though.
Yeah. Who do you think has the best name?
Latavius.
I still think it's Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra. That sounds so fucking like he's like
Egyptian.
a metal band.
Amon-Ra.
Amon-Ra.
Yeah. Like it
It's
sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
He's on Monday Night Raw.
It sounds like a Yu-Gi-Oh card.
Tonight, Amon-Ra
Saint Brown.
facing The Undertaker.
It's like he's got an Egyptian god and a Christian saint in his name. Like, come on.
Sure. Who's the Christian saint?
Saint Brown?
Is that a guy?
I mean, it has Saint Brown. I don't know if it's an actual dude, but
I don't know who that guy.
but it has Saint in it. You're an idiot.
Oh, Chuck Dominguez, welcome to the
What's up, man? We already made fun of the Broncos.
We
Don't worry
already
about it.
roasted the Broncos.
And by the way, it was Eric's fault, 100%. So don't worry about it. Your team's fine. It was all 100% Eric's fault.
I'm sorry. I thought the Broncos didn't suck donkey balls, but I was wrong.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I had too much faith in those.
Merry Christmas, you
stinky
filthy animals.
donkeys.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go move on to our picks. Moving on to our picks, we got.
Let's go with the points first.
Oh yeah, so Eric, do the points. By the way, no Monday Night Football this week.
All right. So at number 1, yours truly, at
Loser.
144. Mr. Gus Becerra, you had an okay week. You actually fell behind a little at number 2 with 141.
Oh, Eric's up by 3.
Yeah. And then Dario coming up with 138.
I'm really far behind.
With David Martinez right behind. He had a really good week at 137.
Damn it, son of a bitch!
And at 136 is that guy. So honestly, Dario could end up at the bottom with God. And then we have God, who had the best week of all of us. So
It's like 120?
he did 108.
Ah, not even 120. What a loser.
No, he's really behind.
All right. Anyway, so I need to step up. Eric is cheating. I demand a recount. That's what Gus
And I'm going
is
to
saying.
have your money.
All right, so let's get started. Picks for this week. Thursday Night Football. New York Jets visiting the Cleveland Browns. I ain't no idiot. Give me the Browns. They're actually playing for something. But for some reason, the Jets keep winning. Give me the Browns. They have Joe Flacco. They have the elite Joe Flacco, and he's up against his ex-girlfriend.
I'm going with elite Joe Flacco right here, buddy. There we go. Amari Cooper's cooking.
Got picked home.
Very good.
Next, we got the Lions visiting the Cowboys. Battle for the 2nd seed? Battle for the 1 seed? Who knows? Let me just see the playoff picture here real quick. Oh, wait, that's the wrong one. Yeah, over here. So, Lions, Cowboys, 11-4, 10-5. So, the Lions are still in the fight for the 1 seed. I think the Cowboys are out, but the Lions are not. Eric, who do you like?
You know what? I think the kitty goes meow for me on this one.
Kitty goes meow.
I love the Lions right now. Did you see Dan Campbell give that speech in the locker room?
No.
I started throwing shit around. I got inspired. I
Is that why
broke
you're-
my TV.
You broke your TV?
I don't need a
God
TV.
damn.
I'm a winner.
My headphones went dead. Talk?
I'm talking.
All right, perfect.
I broke your headphones too.
What?
I broke your headphones too.
You son of a bitch.
I broke the Broncos. I broke everything.
Yeah,
All because of
Chuck Dominguez
MC.
said that he also noticed that every time Eric picks the Broncos, they lose. So Eric, with all due respect, keep my Broncos out your damn mouth.
who they playing. Who they playing?
The Chargers.
I got the goddamn Broncos. Spoiler, spoiler.
See, Chuck, you messed up. You shouldn't have said anything this particular week. This is the week for you to just be like, and he wouldn't have picked them automatically.
Stinky donkeys go down with me.
You're
killed
going
the
down to
Chiefs.
hell with me. Anyway,
If I kill the Chiefs, I'm killing the Broncos.
so you
too.
picked the Lions?
Yeah, I'm taking the Lions. You
I'm-
think Cowboys?
I'm picking the Cowboys. They need to make a move. Also, out of the dome, Goff is a different player. We'll see how it
Plus,
goes.
the Cowboys play good at home.
Yeah. Got picked home.
Mm-hmm.
Next, we got the Tennessee Titans visiting the Houston Texans. Let me see what's up with that boy CJ Stroud, because he didn't play last
he
time.
good.
Yeah. Need QB for playoff push. Will return. There's optimism regarding his availability, so nothing confirmed yet. Give me the Titans.
You
I
okay there, buddy?
I don't like it. I actually was holding in his knees too. I don't like
taking
it.
the
I like the
Texans.
Texans better, but without CJ Stroud, it's gonna be harder. So
I'll
give
take
me,
him just because they're at home, and the Titans just kind of suck.
and again, I also need to pick one that I think you're not gonna pick. So
That's fair.
yeah. Chuck Dominguez says I'm on a Will Smith slap boy. So be ready. Next time you see him, next time you're just walking down the street and get slapped, it's probably Chuck.
Damn it.
All right, so let's see what God says. God picked home again. Next, we got the
Chuck's gonna go,
Falcons.
what the five fingers say to the face?
Slap. We got the Falcons visiting the Chicago Bears. Eric, who do you like?
Do I have to like a team?
I mean, you have to pick one. Are you gonna say it?
True.
Are you gonna say it? The iconic Eric line. This is what the people came for. This is what the people pay to see.
Yeah, it's the end of the year. I'm gonna say. Wait, the Falcons are in contention, aren't they? Because of
Yeah,
their stupid division.
yeah. Let me just show you the playoff picture here real quick. They are currently, the Buccaneers are 8-7. The Falcons are 7-8.
Fuck the Falcons. Give me the Bears.
All right, give me the Falcons.
All right, let's do it.
Home. Got picked home. Next, the game of the weekend, probably, which for some reason is at 10 a.m. and it's not being flexed to prime time. The Dolphins visiting the Ravens. I have, as I mentioned before, I have pretty much all the Ravens on my team. I'm sticking with the Ravens. I need them to slack the freaking Dolphins. Give me the Ravens.
Yeah. Also, after this week, well, I mean, the Dolphins look really fucking strong too, but I'm going with the Cowboys on this one.
Caw-caw. Got picked home too. So next, we got the Saints visiting the Buccaneers. Divisional game. Eric, who do you like?
Saints are still in it just because of their stupid division.
Yep.
I mean, Buccaneers.
Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Again, it's just a stupid division, so it's like,
Yeah.
no.
I mean,
Like, you can make it to the playoffs, but do you wanna?
let me just see the Saints. How did they do the last time against the Buccaneers? Because I think it wasn't even close. Yeah. Give me the Bucks too. I'm not risking it on that one. I dropped the coin.
All right. You
First
dropped
drop.
it.
God picked away. Oh no, yeah, he picked the Saints. All right.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you surprised?
Next,
Did you pick the Bucks or Saints?
I picked the Bucks.
Gotcha.
Next, we got the Patriots versus the Buffalo Bills. Visiting the Buffalo Bills. Will we get another upset? Doubt it. Give me the Bills.
I would be upset if the Patriots win because I'm going with the Bills.
All right, fair enough.
Also, I'm concerned that the Patriots may be saving Bill Belichick's job
Why?
because I want him to be fired.
So he goes to the Chargers?
Yeah.
I'd rather have Jim Harbaugh, but whatever. Home.
Home it is.
And it's not the Patriots saving Bill Belichick's job. It's Bill Belichick saving his own job. Next, we got the Cardinals visiting the Eagles. Eric?
I'll take the birds.
Well, come
Green,
on.
the green ones.
Fly, Eagles, fly. I agree with you. I like the Cardinals, but this is not their season. Next, and it's
They even look like
Gannon going back to his old team.
Look at those. You see those logos?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen the meme of Dan and Cooler Dan?
No.
And one of them is just the same guy but wearing like sunglasses.
Okay.
It looks like that for me, where it's like Cardinals, the shitty bird, and then the Eagles, like cool.
Yeah. Fun fact. You want to know a fun fact about Cardinals? You know they're red, right?
Yeah.
Only the males are red. The females are brown. You know why?
Because males tend to be flashier.
Yes, you know why?
Because it's sexual selection.
Not exactly.
Well, what is that?
They're flashier, so they attract predators. That way, predators go after the males instead of the females. That way the females, can take care of the babies and stuff.
What a bunch of white knights. Give me the fucking Eagles. You bunch of losers. What a bunch of simps.
I did not see that coming. Yeah.
Cards are a bunch of simps.
All right, next we got the Panthers visiting the Jaguars in the Battle of the Pussies. Eric, I do not know. Actually, I go first. I do not know what the Jaguars are. I do not know what the Panthers are. But I have Trevor Lawrence. I'm hoping that he'll be able to play. I don't know if he'll be able to play, but again, I'm just going to stick with my fantasy team. Give me the Jaguars at home.
I'll stick with the Jags as well, just because I'll admit I have seen like 3 Panthers games this season, and they've all lost.
Fair enough. God picked home. By the way, did I flip a coin for Cardinals Eagles?
I just gave him the Eagles. Got to give him a little Christmas gift.
All right, fair enough. By the way, which one did you give him last time that was just for... Was it the Chiefs? Did you give him last week, did you give him the Chiefs for free?
No, I gave him the Raiders.
Are you sure?
You have the sheet right there.
For God?
No, for God had the Raiders.
Oh, okay, because I remember you gave him a game for free. I don't remember which one it was. But anyway. Next, we got the Colts hosting the Raiders. Eric, who do you like? Tough one.
Tough one. Tougher than I would have liked, actually. Raiders are playing hot.
Yep.
And I think the Colts have an indoor stadium, right?
I don't know. I've never been there. But I think so, yeah.
I think it's a dome.
Yeah, the field looks really nice.
Yeah, I'll do the Raiders.
I'll do the Colts. Just,
Yeah, it feels kind of 50-50 here. The Raiders are playing really hot. They can still make a play.
Colts are at home. Got it picked away. Next, we got the LA Rams visiting the New York Football Giants. Giants stink. If it's Tyrod Taylor, if it's Danny Cutlets or whatever his name, Tommy Cutlets or whatever his name is, the Rams are playing pretty good. And like I said, McVay might be the coach of the year. We don't know. I'm going to go with the Rams.
I'm going with the Rammies as well. I do not like the Giants whatsoever, and the Rams have gotten hot at the right time.
Yep. And let's see. Got it picked home. Next, we got the San Francisco 49ers visiting the Washington Commanders.
Can you imagine?
I will eat this coin.
Yeah. Yeah, I think this one's away.
Yeah.
Personally?
Away. Let's see what God says. God picked away. Cool. Next, we got the Seahawks hosting the Steelers. I haven't believed in the Steelers all season. I'm not going to believe in them now. Give me the Seahawks.
I'm going with one of my favorite coaches, Mr. Pete Carroll, on this one. Although Mike Tomlin's also one of my favorite coaches. But the Steelers are boring as hell, so I don't like them.
Yeah. Home. God picked home. Oh.
I like Pete Carroll and his, munching along.
Dude, Pete Carroll's the man. Honestly, dude's hysterical. And for
Hell
his
yeah.
age, he's crazy. Like if there's a coach that I would like to have a beer with, it would probably be freaking Pete Carroll. I think you'd just be laughing your ass off all night.
I'd like Dan Campbell.
I don't know.
I feel like I'd come out a better human.
Maybe you'd come out. You'd probably be drinking at the gym or something.
If I got a Bill Belichick, I would come out as a Sith Lord.
That's not bad either. But next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Cincinnati Bengals in a game which would have been awesome at this point of the season if, Joe Burrow were still playing. Eric, who do you like?
I don't like them, but I am going to go for the Chiefs because I'm actually kind of hoping I'm jinxing them.
All right. I'm going to go with the Bengals, hoping that you jinx the Chiefs.
Here's to hoping.
Yep. Yeah, at this point,
Believe in the tank.
At this point, I'm dead already, so it doesn't really matter. Home. God picked home. Next, in... Oh, it's not. No, not the primetime game. All right, next we got the Chargers.
Give me the stupid donkeys.
You got the donkeys? Give me the Chargers.
Stinky donkeys.
Give me the Chargers. I don't like it, but, whatever. Again, got to make moves. God picked home. And finally, primetime, Sunday, December 31st, the final game of the year. Final game of this 2023.
Wait, is there no more Thursday night?
What?
Is there no more Thursday night?
Yes, there was the Thursday night. Jets, Browns.
But is there going to be...
No. The next week, it's all Sunday.
But there's a Thursday game this year.
Yes, this is the final Thursday night game.
Okay.
All right. Vikings hosting the Packers. Eric, who do you like?
Oh, let me see this playoff picture again. Are they both fighting still? They're both fighting.
By the way, Gus is asking if the picks continue to the playoffs. The answer is no. For the playoffs, I can't think of something to do. Eric and I did the
snake draft.
Yeah, the snake draft, but that was just between the two of us. I mean, no, I don't see how it's gonna work with more people because it's 14 teams. It's kind of a hard one to break down.
We need to. We can think about this. We still got a week.
Yeah, let's think about something. If not, we'll just do the snake draft.
Yeah.
Continue.
But
yeah, no, the final week to catch up or to win is week 18. That's your final chance to catch up on points.
Yeah.
So you better make some moves.
I think I'm going here with the who's the quarterback in the Vikings right now?
Mullins.
He hasn't been playing too hot, but the Packers defense stinks.
Mm.
I'm going with the Vikings. They're at home.
Damn it. I wanted the Vikings. All right, give me the Packers. And God picked the way. So there you go. Those were our picks.
Coming down to the stretch.
Coming out of the stretch. I don't like it. I do not want to give you money. It's getting too close for comfort. I do not appreciate it. But overall, it's been a bizarre season. I feel like primetime games have not been great this season. I don't know what you think. But
yeah, that happened last year too, didn't it?
Well, the issue is that there's been so many freaking injuries. Like, what would you say? A third of all teams has had their quarterback injured. So,
well, I mean, we can go through it again if you want, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, just
let's just see in the playoffs. The only teams that have clinched are teams that have not lost their quarterback.
Really?
Well, I mean, Ravens, Dolphins, 49ers, Lions, Eagles, Cowboys. Those are the clinched teams. They all have their starter.
Uh-huh.
Chiefs have Mahomes. Jaguars,
Bills have Allen. Jaguars, you don't know if they have Trevor Lawrence. He's a big question mark.
Question mark. The Browns don't have Deshaun, although that might have been an upgrade.
Colts don't have Richardson.
Seahawks don't have Smith.
Rams have Stafford. Buccaneers have what's his name?
Mayfield.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah.
In the hunt, CJ Stroud's not playing. Pickens got injured. Burrow's injured.
Garoppolo got injured at some point. He could be back, but they just benched him.
Yeah.
Broncos, they still have Russ, so that's kind of an injury. Patriots, Did they lose Mac Jones or did you just bench him?
Who? I think they just Mac Jones. I think they just benched them.
Chargers lost
Herbert's
Herbert.
injured.
Titans lost
Tannehill got
Tannehill.
injured.
Jets lost Rodgers. Giants lost Daniel Jones.
Murray didn't play most of the year. So yeah, it's been just crazy amount of injuries. The Bears kid, what is his name? Justin Fields was also injured for a bit.
Saints lost Carr for a little while.
Injured. So it's been a weird season overall. But supposedly the league's getting safer with all the stupid rules. We'll see how it goes.
And now we have more injuries as a result.
Yeah, but that's it. I'm getting sick and I want to end this. So anything else you want to share? Anything you want to shout out? Or just because this is our final NFL show of the year.
Well, this is true. I guess. Happy New Year to everybody.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Being part of this thing for the year, and hopefully we move on to the future with more silliness in 2024.
Happy New Year, everybody. Hope you've had fun with us. Hope you've all your Christmas wishes have come true with Brandon Staley getting fired and all that stuff. And hopefully you're doing good in your fantasy leagues. I don't know. Good luck in your Super Bowls. We'll see how it goes. As always, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next year.